Hello, everybody. Welcome to today. If you saw the title, we are going to be making a blog, because that's cool, for free, all caps, free, with GitHub Pages. So this is something that I've created. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and overwhelmingly, they suggest to like people new to the PowerShell community, new to any community, I guess, for that matter. They overwhelmingly recommend just start a blog. Even if it's just for yourself, start a blog. It helps you. There's just a lot of skills involved, technical writing. Eventually, someone's going to find your stuff, and then, oh, they've been blogging for 3 years. They must know what they're talking about. So it's just a cool resource to have, and it's very easy to set up. So what we're looking at now is my blog. This is, again, for free and hosted on GitHub. I own no infrastructure. It's all free and taken care of. So real quick, we could just have a little tour of this page. So I've got some fancy stuff here. We go down to blog. This theme specifically looks like this. We can pick any theme we want, and we'll get into that later, but it shows just a quick snippet of my most recent blog. If we come out here, I've got 5 posts, just a small place for you to start a blog. Again, this is all free. It's all hosted out in GitHub. And so today is special because I have a guest on the stream. We went to college together, so we've known each other for a few years. Let me turn this on. Welcome, Brandon. Say hi.
Hello, everybody.
So, like I said, we went to college together. And yeah, we're both nerds. So I work with PowerShell a lot. So I'm a coder. Brandon, real quick, do you want to just share kind of what's your day-to-day job? You're not a programmer, but who are you? And you're going to make a blog too. So
So my name is Brandon. I work for a company called Sirius Computer Solutions. I do for the day-to-day analyst type work and engineering type work. So we monitor customer environments for down situations, interface alerts, storage alerts, even different services, you name it. We just basically make sure that customer environments are constantly running, not going down. And, we do everything from calls, emails, and even setting up the environments for customers. So it's a little bit of a broad spectrum there. So that's mainly what I do, and I've been doing that for a little over 5 years now.
And you want to make a blog?
I want to make a blog today. So I found the best expert to show me.
Yeah, sure, expert, right? This stream, the purpose of this is to help people learn PowerShell, and so we're almost going to do 0 PowerShell in this video for everyone watching, but you can document your PowerShell journey as you learn. If you're new, make a blog, follow along. This is much easier than you think it's going to be. So there's a couple things that we need. Brandon, I don't know if your desktop is ready to share, if I can pull that up or...
Yes, I should still be on the page for us to start downloading what we need to get.
All right, so here's Brandon's computer. So there's 2 things that we're going to need. We're going to need Git, which is a source control program. And then we're going to, we need a code editor. So I'm going to suggest VS Code. Obviously, that's what I use. So if you're brand new, you have none of this, we're going to download, install these real quick, and then get into the blog. So Brandon, let's download Git. I think it's just git.com, Git.
Alrighty. And actually, if you want, I can just do a quick Google search.
Yeah, Google.
That.
Yeah. Oh, git-sc. It's that first one. There we go.
Alrighty.
So the download's
these would do the latest release?
Yep, right there. Yep, 231.
Alrighty, we'll go ahead and throw that there.
And so while you're downloading that, you can also grab VS Code as well. I will show everybody. So in case I wasn't able to have Brandon on, he's going to make a blog. So I'm going to walk him through making his own blog. Just in case I made a new GitHub account, because I've already got my blog, right? I can't make a second one on GitHub Pages, or at least it wouldn't be the same process for somebody brand new. So I made a new account, Tech Doofus, because that's very accurate for me. And Tech Doofus can make a blog. So I actually plan on following along with the instructions that I give Brandon. I will try to follow along as well. You'll sort of see, his process, my process, and we'll We'll get 2 blogs created today, hopefully.
And remind me, Matthew, not to interrupt you there. Do we want the true type font? Does that really? I mean, I don't know what view you have.
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Next. A lot of this stuff's going to be default. Keep going next. Not this. Pull the drop down on this. You don't have Visual Studio Code installed yet, but that third option, use Visual Studio Code as the default editor. That's what we want. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, it's blanked out. Just use Vim. Go back and pick Vim, I guess the first. Yeah, Vim. You don't. It's grayed out because you don't have that installed yet. So
I'm guessing there's a way to probably change that.
Later, I think so. Yeah. Okay. Here, let Git decide. That's fine. Next. Here, we want to go down and check the native Windows. That one. Yep. Wait. Go back. Certificates, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is the one we want. So next.
Okay.
Check out. That's fine. Next. Use the second one. Wait. Go back. I don't remember what the default is. Let's just pick the Windows default and hit next. This will let us use Git from PowerShell. I think that's what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, default here. That's fine. So next. Git credential manager.
The second one?
Well, what's the first one? It's the same thing. Yeah, just leave the first one because that's the most current one, and we'll hit next. So I probably know on the stream this is really small, but once we get into web pages and stuff, we'll zoom in Brandon's screen and we should be good to go. And yep, next here. Man, this is there's a lot of stuff. Leave that unchecked, so just click install. And now we can go and download VS Code real quick. So if you're following along, you need Git and you need VS Code, and that's really it. Yep, download Windows. Click on System Installer 64-bit. Yeah. They have a version that you can install under the user context, which doesn't require admin privileges, but I've kind of ran into some issues with that. So with the system installer, that just means any user on the computer can use VS Code, which requires admin rights to install that way. And it's just less buggy, I think, for me. I've ran into some issues. All this will probably be default. Open with code, you want both of those. Actually, check all of those. These? Check every box. Yep. Okay. Next. Install. Yep, this is much more straightforward than the Git one.
Okay.
So. And launch VS Code. Perfect. And we'll make this full screen. And so this is one that we can Control Plus to make this much bigger for everybody. So first, we're going to go back into GitHub. Yeah, I don't know if you've got GitHub open already.
I do not.
Yep. We'll go to your profile, or just sign in. We're going to make a new repository. So everybody in the top right, if you're following along, you can just click on your picture up there, or the plus. Yeah, you want to make a new repository. And so when you're making your first GitHub page, there's a different process. You can have multiple GitHub pages, multiple websites hosted for free, but your first one has to follow a certain syntax. So the repository name for your first GitHub page, so there in the repository name, it's your username. So in your case, it's brreese01. So go ahead and type that in there. .github.io. So that's available. You don't need a description. We'll leave it public. Go ahead and click on add a README and then just click create repository. And so GitHub's going to see that. And yeah, let's go into settings real quick on this repository. It's sort of in the top middle there. Yep, settings. I think it's under, if you scroll down a ways. Yep, keep scrolling. Project, keep going. I think there's a pages section, GitHub Pages. There we go. So GitHub Pages is designed to host your blah, blah, blah. Your site is ready to be published. So it already recognized this format, and GitHub is hosting this URL, which right now is blank. We don't have anything created, but it already recognized the format from the repository name and created this link. So as soon as we get some guts into this repository, he's already got his URL ready to go. There's nothing more to do. So the next thing is to pick a theme. And so GitHub inherently for GitHub Pages knows how to use Jekyll as the page generator. So we're going to find a Jekyll theme, and there's a million places to look for one. Apparently GitHub comes with templates. I was on a web page earlier called, I think, jekyllthemes.io was the website. Let's go to that one instead. Just Google Jekyll themes.
Okay, and how do you spell Jekyll?
Jekyll. Yeah, it's kind of odd. Yep, and the first page should be that, jekyllthemes.io. And maybe you could zoom in maybe 1+ here on this page, just so it's big enough. Okay, so here's all kinds of themes. Let's go, I think at the top of this page, you can click on blog. Because again, we're making a blog in GitHub, but you can host any type of website, a portfolio or just documentation. I mean, whatever you want. So let's keep scrolling. I thought there was a, let's go back to the top. I thought there was a way to just view all of the blog. Oh, browse themes in the top. And then there's a blog category, blog themes. There we go. So notice some of these have prices. We're going to scroll till we basically find a free one that looks kind of cool for you. So there's a free one. Yeah, I mean, we can take a minute, just look for a theme. There's, again, for everyone watching, there's lots of different pages that have these free themes. This is just one page. There was one free one that I think I'm going to try in the future. It was called that DBYLL. I'm going to do that one sort of like off camera.
I kind of like it. It's got the little,
it's really cool. I've seen a lot of PowerShell people and just tech enthusiasts that I like to follow use that theme. But
okay.
it's more complicated than like the one I have right now, for example. So we could just pick a simple one for now.
Gridster doesn't look too bad, but I'm just going to quickly skim a couple more, and then I think we'll just pick whichever one kind of grabs, and even this one's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, as everyone can see here, I mean, there's plenty of amazing themes just, to get a quick blog going, so definitely no shortage there. I'm trying to look for something not too minimalistic.
Go up real quick. Let's pick right there, long haul. That one's kind of simple. It's got some tags across the top. A lot of customization will go into this that you'll have to do on your own, but just to show how easy it is to get started and get this out there. So right there, we've opened this theme. It sort of debuts some features. You want to click that red button, Get Long Haul on GitHub. That's where it's stored, the source code. So what you'll do here, and this is the best method I can come up with. We're going to clone this repository to your computer, which is why we needed to go and install Git.
Okay.
So in the top right, you see that green code button. You'll click that, and you can click the, click that little clipboard to copy that link. There we go. Now let's open PowerShell on your computer real quick. Yep, Windows PowerShell.
And I'm guessing as admin?
No, you don't need to be. Just whatever. Ooh, this is real small.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Right click in the top left corner. Yeah, go to properties. And just say, I think it's font. Just make that probably, yeah. Okay, that's probably readable. If anyone needs it bigger, let us know. I think that's probably legible.
No, just for good measure, I'll quickly, since I know where it is, I'll just pop it up to
one more. 36 is fine.
Yeah, there we go. Whoops,
Ooh,
let's not do
not that big.
365. That might cause a problem.
Perfect. All right, so let's go to wherever you want to clone this to, I guess. I don't know if. Oh, you're. So for context, Brandon's kind of new to GitHub. His GitHub profile doesn't really have anything in it. So right now, I like to put stuff on my C drive. I have a folder called projects, and then inside of projects, I have a folder called GitHub, and then I just store everything inside of that GitHub folder.
Let's see if we can.
Yeah, let's do that real quick for you. Let's make a folder here called projects. And then inside there, I make another one called GitHub. Yep. Okay, now in PowerShell, we'll navigate there. So just CD, and then the path, C : whack, whatever.
Actually.
Yep. Projects.
Oh, I guess it's literally just that.
Yeah. It's real short. Projects and then whack, GitHub. And we're here.
There you go.
Can you type the word git and hit enter? Just make sure that PowerShell, that it installed right. Perfect. We want to git space clone space and then paste that link in. So we're going to clone the source code, that repository here. Yep, enter. And it will make a new folder called long haul. Let's also go and clone your repository that we made. If you go to your GitHub profile again. Yep, repositories. Let's do the same thing for yours. Code in the top right. We're going to clone this empty repository, basically, right here. Git clone, paste. Oops.
That went really long. All right, that was fun. And let's do it twice. All right.
Yeah, no, in PowerShell's not like your normal text editor. You can't like highlight yeah. So
that is right.
Yep.
But no for everyone doing this, because also I, just like Matthew said, I'm learning still too.
Yeah. Let's open up your folder that you opened. Let's go into GitHub. We're gonna open long haul, and we're literally just gonna Control A, copy everything, and go back up one folder to your click on that. Yep, click there. Now we'll go into your github.io repository and paste. Control V, paste everything.
Did it not take it for me? All right, well, let's just do this. That's okay. We can just quickly make a new Explorer and pop over there.
Click and drag.
Or do we just make that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing you're going to overwrite the README too.
Yeah, it'll override it. That's no problem. Yours was empty anyway.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. Now if we go back into PowerShell, if you CD into your repository, so CD B tab, it'll autocorrect. There we go. Enter.
There we go.
Now if you do a git status, Git will tell you, holy cow, a bunch of stuff changed. It doesn't know what to do. So we're going to add all of this. So git add and then a period. That just means add everything. No, a space period. Sorry. Git add space period. Enter. This tells Git I'm about to add all of these new changes. Every new file, folder, everything within them. I want Git to be in control of that. So now if you do a git status, it's no longer red. It's a bunch of green stuff. Git is telling you these are ready to be archived in the Git system. So let's just do git commit -m space, and then inside of quotes, we'll just say, initial commit of my template or something, just to have some message. Yep. Enter. Oh, we have to do this as well. So we're going to configure your email address that you use to sign up for your GitHub account. That way, when you commit stuff, GitHub knows you're the person pushing that code up. So you literally copy those commands and just replace, your name with your name and the email with your email. You have to do them one at a time.
You do? Okay.
Yep. And if you don't want your email shown, I can just come up to my screen real quick and So while you're running both of those commands,
screen.
yeah, no, I've got it. Real quick, so everyone, in case I couldn't get Brandon up here, like I said, I made this Tech Doofus account. And real quick, just as a plug, it's so easy. I came in, made my profile, added the comments, and copy and paste the action. Poof, I got my top 8 doofuses right here. So I'm just really glad at how easy this is to use, after all that time getting that action created. And I actually was able to, if I come into this real quick.
And while you're pulling that up, do I leave the quotes around the email address, or is that just a
yeah, you can.
Okay.
I think on the email you don't need to, but your name is going to have a space in there, so you will need the quotes on your name. Just leave them.
Okay.
Yep.
So just leave it for both?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Okay.
So when I was making this action here, I was able to come to actions. I thought I said new workflow. And over here on the right, GitHub had this set up workflow yourself, and it pulls up the marketplace over here. And there's very popular actions you may want to use. I was able to search for my top 8, and it was right out here. So that was pretty cool. And I was just able to use this right there. So anyway, that's the action that we spent the first 7 streams making or whatever.
All right, and I should have that done now.
Okay,
is there
sweet.
a way to clear the console?
CLS will clear it. That's a PowerShell alias for clear screen. The other thing, if you hit enter a bunch of times, I found this out for some PowerShell people. Notice if you try to scroll up, you can't. Your history is gone. For me, I like to keep the history, but I want my console to look clean. If you do a Control L, it will scroll you down until that's the top line. So now you can scroll up and the history is still there. It just looks clean. So like a trick that PowerShell people can use.
Okay. I should have done that.
Yeah. So now
I did enter a bunch of times, but
yeah, now if you up arrow to your commit message, your git commit, message, blah, blah, just keep hitting the up arrow. 1 down, I think it is. Let's go down a few right there. Now we can enter here and Git won't bark at you about, I don't know who you are, Great. It committed it locally. Now we need to do a push so that we push all of this into GitHub. So a git push, sorry. Yep. And that should take a couple seconds. It's going to want you to click sign in with your browser, and then it'll ask you for your GitHub username and password. But you're already signed into GitHub in your browser, so it will probably just be happy. I bet if you open up PowerShell, it's already done. Yep. So it got the authentication from the browser, Google, which was already signed into GitHub. Now, if we go to your repository, if we refresh that page, the website, all this whole theme is there. And so it takes, 30 seconds or so, but if we open up a new tab and go to your website, so breece01.github.io, we should have this blank template website out there. It may take a sec. So what happens is, let me pull up my theme, for example. So I've done a ton of customization. If I come to github.com, Matthew J. DeGarmo.
There we go.
Oh, your theme came up?
Yep, I had an extra little character in there. I figured I did.
Oh, weird. That doesn't look correct. We'll troubleshoot that in a sec. But for everyone wondering what's going on, so here is my blog out here. It's just a different Jekyll theme, but it's sort of the Jekyll has the same structure. So this GitHub knows how to consume these resources. It knows how to read the config file. It's looking for certain things, and it basically wraps that in a container, and GitHub hosts it. So your website is containerized. And so when I make a change, like let's say I come in here and I add a post, it's literally just adding a file, right? GitHub will see in the repository, oh, this GitHub page source code has changed. Let me recreate this, Docker, this container image, and redeploy the web page. So at first, when his repository was empty, GitHub was dishing it up, but we got the error page because there was no web page there. So as soon as we added all those resources, GitHub goes, oh, this page changed. And it now knew how to read all the Jekyll stuff, wrap it up and serve it to that URL. So let's refresh this. Why does it look so gross? That's odd. Let me come to it on my computer. That is strange.
It wouldn't be missing anything from what we set up on the other coding computer, would it be?
Nah, it could just be a bad template. Maybe the template isn't updated anymore. It could be. But now that we have all this here, you saw how easy it was. We just have to clone some code, copy it in, push it up, and that's your website.
Right.
So we could, if we wanted to, go find a new theme. Let me do one real quick.
Yeah, if you want to try the same one, we could just use it for trial and error purposes.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a different one because I think maybe that theme is a bad one. Blog themes. Let me just find. This one's cool. What is this? Minimal mistakes.
Let's see. The last commit I just noticed on that long haul was actually what, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But you never know. Okay, so I'm gonna clone this one. I know you're not. Let me just open up Terminal real quick. So I'm doing the same thing you did. I'm going to git clone. And I'm actually gonna run into the same issue. So I had to make a new email address and then make a new GitHub account. So Git on this system still has my main information. Brando CSS gets a 404 in browser. Yeah, I just think there's an issue with the theme itself, and the theme CSS is just broken or something. So let's just try another one. Or okay. we could grab the one I'm using. It's called Jekyll Personal, I think. But let me try this real quick. CD projects GitHub.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm just pulling up the stream on the side here just so I can see what you pull up.
Make sure you mute the stream or it'll be kind of strange.
Oh yeah, exactly. That I just did.
All right, so now I made a new folder, git clone the minimal mistakes repo. I'm basically redoing all the steps I just walked Brandon through. So I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna make my tech doofus repository. Everything we did was correct. It's just the theme that was bad. So I don't want everyone thinking that, it's more complicated than this. It really is just stealing someone's theme that's free. Or, you could make your own if you're into Jekyll and stuff, but find a theme, customize it, poof, you got a blog. It's really nice. Oops. doofus.github.io. Public, readme, create. Cool. Let me clone this empty one. Okay, so git config. I'm going to set my local name and password. Oh, whoops. I need to pop into this GitHub repository. So what we're doing is we're telling Git who we are. When we make commit messages, there's usually an author name and an author email as a stamp on the commit message. You can configure that globally. So I can say git config and the global for this whole system, at least for the person that signed in. Whenever a commit is made, use this name, use this email. And in my case, I have that. It's using my name and then my main account email address. But in this case, I had to create a new email for this account. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to pop this email in here. So the username was that, user email. And that's what Brandon had to do. He did that, off screen. Now when I do a git, I think it's, yeah, I've got a PowerShell command that shows me the configuration. So the fact that that is coming up with this information means it's correctly reading my local configuration and ignoring my global configuration, which is a different email address. So this is good. Let's just open this up, I guess. GitHub, Tech Doofus, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna copy, paste over here, replace. Okay. Whoops. I get commit message. Initial theme.
All right, I think I found a new one that I want to use.
Oh, whoops. Oh, you know what? Whoops. I needed to... This git folder... Yeah, okay. I need to copy everything except the git folder. But you didn't see that, Brandon, because you have it. You have that folder hidden. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
Let me repaste this, and this should be fine. There we go. Now I can do this. And hang on, I broke something. Let me fix this. Git remote add. GitHub.com/techdoofus/ oops. So another comment, there's a lot of like GUIs that you can use for Git, a lot of software that lets you just do commits and things. But when push comes to shove and something breaks, it will take so much longer to figure out what to do to fix it in those programs, in my opinion, than if you are just a keyboard ninja and you know what you're doing. So I know exactly what's wrong and I know how to fix it. Oh, I thought I clicked add already. Git remote add. Oh, this needs to be upstream.io.git. There we go. Oops. Let me add origin, I guess. We're live, folks. There's going to be issues. All right, I'll just copy this. Actually, that's not accurate. In GitHub, it's not master, it's main. So let's do this. I broke it. All right. RM. Force. Recurse. There we go. I'm going to have to reclone. Whoops. Reclone this and do the same thing. I broke my local GitHub repository when I copied this Git file. So I'm nuking it, and that's okay. So Brandon, your page, if you refresh, is still kind of looking wonky.
Yeah, I may have done something wrong with trying to update this back to. So basically, what I did is I found a new theme. I pulled its clone code, to a new folder in my GitHub my parent GitHub folder. I removed all the code from my current, breeze.io, copied the new code over, did the git add dot, and I don't know if I needed that step, but then I did git push, and it seems to be the same, so I might be missing a step in there.
Oh, okay. No, I need to redo my username, my name, and email commands here. Yeah, okay. Name. All right. Permission denied. That doesn't make sense. I can't push up because it's reading me as somebody. Okay, I'm gonna come into. Anyway, let's pull up your screen. You know what? Let me try one thing. I'm gonna go on to my repository and come here and grant me, my main person, rights to this repository.
Okay.
So the permissions issue is inside of GitHub. Oh, manage access. That's what I want. Tech doofus. There we go. Thank you, Google. Invite a collaborator. Sweet. Okay, now I should be able to push this up. No problem. Didn't work. Well, what? Let's do this with you. Let's find a different theme. For some reason,
so like I said, sorry.
No, I said for some reason I think your theme just broke. It's just not a good theme. We just picked a bad one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so I don't know
strange.
where we want to start off. So like I said, I did find a new theme and I already got the folder for it. I copied all the files over. I did all of that fun jazz, but the problem, I don't know if I pushed it back to GitHub properly.
Here, you missed a step. So you did the git add and then you did the git push. There's nothing to push because you haven't committed it yet. The commit is really what adds it to the repository. So yeah, git commit, you just enter that. It doesn't matter. Initial, just hit enter. There we go. So you added it, which basically means I'm ready to be committed. So
now I can push it?
Yep, now you can push. So you add it, you commit it, you push it. It's the trifecta of Git.
I knew I was missing something in there.
Yeah. And so GitHub, again, will see that the code changed. Automatically, it'll take just a little bit. But it will see that the code changed, recreate the container for this website, and dish it up to this endpoint. So, or this URL. But
I'll even refresh this page. Yep, and it sees the data flowing in as of 38 seconds ago.
Yeah, let's keep refreshing.
I definitely should be new code.
Yeah. What's the name of the theme that you picked?
The name of the theme here is called Feeling Responsive. So if I pull up the page here,
I was looking at that one earlier, actually.
Yeah, and I thought just kind of simple, but it had a modern look to it, and so and then I see you're refreshing.
Yeah.
But if you want, I can show off what this one kind of looks like.
Mm-hmm. And so this is on the jekyllthemes.io. If you scroll down a little bit, there's a button that points you to the source code for this. And so everyone pick your theme. As long as it's free, you can usually they're hosted on GitHub and you can find them like that. And that's what I did for mine. I found one called Jekyll Personal, I think. And then I just came in here and customized my picture, the background, the colors. I mean, everything about this looks totally different than the original, even though the layout is the exact same. There's this timeline and I've customized all these items here. So, yeah, but your page isn't refreshing. Maybe it's taken a bit.
Mine just refreshed. So yours might be taking just a little longer. Mine did finally refresh.
No, I will just reopen it here. Whoops. There we go. Hey, so this is your site. It totally was just a broken theme. I feel so much better about this.
Nice.
I saw your junk and I was like, it really is simple. So we grabbed a free theme. This is awesome. This is great. Here's your theme. You've got all kinds of buttons and stuff. Now
not to
is
interrupt you quick, how'd you get your? So the weird thing is that's kind of interesting. I'd be curious to check out. Yours is a dark theme, so I'm guessing, do you have like a browser set up to force it to be dark theme, or?
Oh, right. Okay. So I have a Chrome I have a Chrome extension that turns web pages. It uses machine learning, blah blah blah, to alter the HTML to make it dark theme. There are lots of extensions that do this, but like a couple years ago, I looked into this because things like LinkedIn, just all kinds of sites that you use don't have dark themes. Well, hurts my old eyeballs. So, but I looked into extensions, and at the time they all kind of sucked. So I just gave up. There's no way to do it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I found this extension called Dark Reader, and it just works. I have not had a single issue. So if I turn this off, now here's your theme. But yeah, the dark theme came in when my extension turned that on.
How cool is that?
And so if you
might have to send me that at some point.
Yeah, for sure. And so even if you find a site where, it doesn't re-render the CSS and everything properly, it has like you can add a list of sites to not list.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, so let me add let me add your site to my don't convert list. So now everything else is still going to be dark themed, but your site isn't. So if you do find an issue, you can just like whitelist just that one site. It's a really cool extension.
That's really awesome. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, Off-Cam definitely said that to me. That's really cool.
Back to your screen, let's open up this repository in VS Code.
Okay.
Because that's really where we need to go now, is now you got your theme. How the heck do we make it yours, right? So in VS Code, you'll click on the top left icon. It's in the list right there. Yep. This is where you open up files. And so we need to find the folder, the C projects, wherever you put that one. Yep, select folder. And now this is the whole structure of your website. And the anchor, the main thing, the most important file in all of this is the config.yaml. So let's open up that file real quick. This is the thing you edit. If you want to get into Jekyll and CSS and everything, you can mess with other files. But this is where the information lives. See, who's the author? What's the URL? You're just going to customize this stuff for your information. So title, let's just start at the top. For title, feeling responsive, you change this to my cool blog or something. We can go through this some other time. But just to prove, when we push this up, GitHub will take like 20 seconds and we'll see all these changes. Yep. So slogan, Matthew is very cool. I don't know, who cares? Yeah. And then you can have a description for if you're making a PowerShell blog, or you're going to video game, or you're just going to blog about life. Like that's your description that shows up on the website.
So what is the double caret icons telling it to do?
Is that
just like making smaller?
No, it's just a cool icon that shows up cool on the site.
Oh, okay. I'll just leave it then.
There's no like special character for that.
Okay.
And see, each one of these, which is really cool, the author of this decided to add little descriptions on what each one does. See, this is used on the homepage and in the footer on all these sites, blah, blah, blah. So like you can go through this theme did a really good job of like explaining why would you change this? Where does this show up? Think of these as like variables. That's why this file is so important. Awesome. So when you write author, there's probably 14 other files that reference the value for author. So this file is the most important when it comes to customizing what's going on and all the values and what things show up. So we changed the author. Let's change the URL a little bit. Don't include the slash at the end. So let's just put your, let's put your GitHub. The main address for, we want to put the URL. You're right. brees.github.io. That's right.
Let's just quickly steal it from up here.
Yep.
Whoops, not paste. There we go.
And I'm pretty sure you want the base URL to be blank.
Okay. Do I still leave single
Or,
quotes?
no, leave that for just a sec. I'm going to pull up your GitHub repo real quick. Yeah, okay. Here's your repo. I think it is referring to... Okay, I would say leave that blank. That the base URL,
Okay.
just leave the 2 quotes there just by itself.
Give me 1 second here. There
Sure.
we go. Sorry, I got spammed with a whole bunch of work cases for stuff that is
Yeah.
live. So
that's
I'm just
all
quickly capturing that, but otherwise we're good.
And take off on the URL. Notice in the comment it says don't include the slash at the end. It's a nice comment to have. So let's go ahead and correct that.
There you go.
And one more thing we're going to be done with this file for now, but we're going to customize one more thing. Let's go into posts, the folder in the top left. That's when you add a blog post.
There it is.
Yep, right there. This is where your blog posts live. So once you customize the heck out of your site and everything's magical, to add a new post, you literally just open up one of those files. It's just a markdown file, and that's the content, and it renders in markdown. And so you just have to add this file, poof, it'll just, GitHub will regenerate your site, and there's your blog post, So let's make a new one here. Let's make a new file.
And really quick, so I'm guessing these are all just examples of like if I want to post to be a header image with pattern, etc. I would use this type of template. Is that kind of what I'm seeing here?
Yeah.
I see
So
like a page,
notice
post right
at the
sidebar.
So we're in this file, right? There's a huge chunk at the top of this file. You see layout, title. These are values and tags that the theme is going to use to figure out where does this post go. So if you go to your theme specifically, if you go back to your web page, you're going to see some posts are under header styles. Some are under documentation. Some are blogs.
Okay, I see that.
But click into one of those. Click into header styles. Just pick one. This is literally just rendering that specific file. And because of that information at the top, it knew to put it in the header styles sort of category here at the top. So again, you're going to have to come up with your own categories: video games, coding, whatever. And then all of your files live in that folder. So let's go back to the code and then open up that posts folder again. Oh, we already have the file open. So all of the posts, whether it's video games or coding or whatever you're going to blog about, the file will go here, but you're just going to edit, the category. Is it design, is it video game category, or is it programming category? And then when GitHub renders your website, it's going to know how to organize and put the certain files in the certain, category at the top or column or whatever. Again, the only reason I know that is because I've done some Jekyll and I sort of understand the templating a little bit. My theme does not do this. All my posts go in one spot. It's not segregated out like that. Okay. But yours is. So I'm just looking at this and I'm understanding, what's going on a little bit. Let's go. Which one is this? Header image pattern. Let's delete everything underneath those 3 dashes in the middle. Everything under, so you see at the very top, line 1 and line 17 are those 3 hyphens.
Right.
That is telling Jekyll, this is like the customized header setting at the top. It should be at the top of all of your posts. Okay. And then everything underneath is actually the stuff to render, right? So let's delete everything below those 3 lines.
Okay, so we don't need the header that tells it what image to pull or anything. Oh, I guess that's all up here, right?
Yeah, so what you're seeing here, what you're seeing there, that header, inside of those 3 squiggles, that's just telling Jekyll to render it like a code block. If you go to your website real quick, or I guess I could pop it up too, but if you go to see those like highlighted 4 lines, header, image full width in the middle of this page?
Oh, Oh, right.
That's how Jekyll is rendering it. So it's like HTML. You add your, bolds and things, and it will render with fancy features and highlighting and, clickable things. So you can use the current art, like, oh, I really like how when I moused over one of these, it changed colors or something. You can figure out how this theme is doing that. So you see all header styles. And then if you keep scrolling down on the right in the file, you see, include list posts. So let's go to that real quick. Again, I'm not trying to teach you about Jekyll, but I'm just letting everyone know this isn't as scary as it looks. So that the word include in Jekyll means, so it says include list posts. That means there's a file called list posts inside of your includes folder. So 2 above the folder that we have open is a folder called includes. And in here is going to be a file called include list posts. Yeah, it should be here. That's totally how Jekyll works. Here it is.
It's just
I was going to say, whoa, right, okay, different icon. So open that up. So Jekyll is basically like, it's saying copy paste all the guts of this and paste it in that one spot where it's referenced. So for programmers, that's like referencing classes and libraries at the top of your scripts. Not in PowerShell, but if you've ever done like C# or Python or anything else, I have to say, oh, I'm using OS if it's Python, and I have to sort of import all this extra code that I don't have to write. So that's kind of what's going on here. It's instead of having one giant file that's everything, it's sort of split out. And so you can just focus on one small piece. I want to edit the list posts section. Well, you don't have to scroll to line 13,004 because it's just in this file, basically. So there's a reason that there's a million files in these themes. It's supposed to help organize what the fluff is going on in this theme,
Okay.
So, I mean, you can look at this sometime. I don't think I want to edit this, but it's somewhere in here. You will be able, if we dissected this, we'd be able to figure out how the heck, when I mouse over in that list on the website, did the person who made this theme figure out how to get it to change colors like that? And then we could mimic that elsewhere, and you can customize from there. But the people that make these themes are web developers. They know how to do this stuff. And
that makes sense.
We really just have to customize things in that config file. What's your name? What's your slogan? Your description of the site. We can change some headers around, maybe change some pictures, but that's about it. You don't really reprogram the layout of the site.
Okay.
If you knew how to do that, you wouldn't be stealing a theme. You'd be doing it yourself. So that's why you sort of pick a theme that you like how it's organized. So you might not like this theme. You can go pick another one, but now you know how to do it. You did it yourself. You went and grabbed the code from a new theme, you copy it in, push it up, and then that's your starting point. Then you come in. So we've already changed a couple things. Let's go back to PowerShell and push this up. So we changed your email, the title of the site, your slogan stuff. So we'll just do a git. Remember, we have to add the changes.
That's right. So we have to commit them first, and we'll just say.
And we have to add them first.
There you go.
Yep. So that period just means everything that's changed, just add it. And that's not usually best practice, but for now, who cares? So add everything that changed.
And I guess for everyone on stream, what would I type? Even though I just added it, what would I do?
What do you mean?
So you said it wasn't best practice. So if I wasn't doing a get all.
Right. So let's say we changed, going forward, you're going to have all this and you're going to be editing things. Right now, we changed some stuff in the config file. Let's say we go and add a post and then we change the colors on a page somewhere else. You want to just add and commit changes that are related. It's because if you make a change that breaks something, if that change that broke something was included in a commit that just had a bajillion changes, there's no way to just undo that one change. You'd have to undo all bajillion changes. So it's nice to just say, git add just this config file. And then your commit message is specifically, I updated the description variable in this file, and you commit it.
Okay.
And then you add the blog post file and say, I'm adding my second post, blah, blah, blah. So if something, you make these 12 commits, let's say you change 12 different things, they're all segregated into their own commits. And then you find out, shoot, the stuff I changed in that config commit where you changed the config file, the description, for some reason I used a character and it broke the whole site. Because all of your changes are sort of segregated like that, you can just go and target that 1 out of 12 commit and just, revert that change. You don't have to revert all 12 because you just YOLO committed everything, right? It's not organized at all. And so I know that kind of seems overwhelming, but as you begin to code, you begin to appreciate the work, going through the work and just committing small changes. When you do big changes all at once, you break stuff. And so it's easier to troubleshoot and fix if you just do small changes at a time.
Okay.
But for now, who cares? Not at all. Whatever.
Absolutely.
It's not like it's not like in
streamers.
production or something. Yeah. But so we've added everything. Now we have to commit what we've added. So just git commit again, -m. Yeah, you could remember you can't highlight and change things here. You have to just backspace. But yeah, what'd we change? Description information about the site, whatever. Yeah. And as I'm getting better with my commit messages as well, it's just something you learn how to get better at forever. You don't want another developer to look at your commit messages and just go they should be able to tell what's going on at a high level by your commit message. So if your message every time is just say, I changed something, changes, you'll probably get fired. if you're actually in a developer place, people just don't be that guy. People hate you.
That would be, that would be good not to do that.
Yeah.
And I just realized I didn't hit save on this file that we updated before doing this because it said there was nothing to commit. So
yes.
I'm going to go ahead and do that again.
The most popular command that I type is git status. I'll type that 5 times in a row just to be sure there are changes. So now if you do a git status, we just made a commit, right? It tells you, yep, you're ahead of your GitHub by 1 commit. So git status, it just always is, where the heck am I? What's going on in this repository? Are there changes that need to be added? You haven't pushed yet. Git status told you that. So it even says, type git push and you'll sync up to GitHub, basically. So I like git add, git status. And then I git commit, git status. I literally type git status all the time. So just tip for people, git status is great. Now, if you type git status, it should tell you, yep, you're in sync with origin main. Yep, your branch is up to date. Great. So let's go refresh your page and see how quickly it should update the title.
I see. So I need to. So apparently the start button is currently mapped to go back to this individual's site.
Oh, yes. Right. So we'll just have to backspace and refresh here.
There we go.
Yep. I think, can you scroll down to the bottom of the page, all the way to the bottom?
And I think,
See,
so we got to change.
The about this site, that's where the description got plugged in there. So that feeling responsive, remember those characters you asked, what do those characters do? They just look cool on the site. Okay. So if you keep refreshing, your description should show up there. And that's how we know that it updated.
Okay. So I'll give it another, because it looked like, at least for me, I think it was 2 minutes last time is roughly how long it took for GitHub to
I'm not
refresh
sure.
and repush the page.
I guess it depends on how big the site is. My theme is definitely significantly less complex than the one you picked. So GitHub probably
went for a complex one.
Yeah, GitHub just packages it up a little faster. But let me pull up. I'll pull it up on mine here. Here's your page. Refresh. Yeah, nothing yet. But once you get comfortable doing this, you never need to leave your code, and you just updated your website. Like you don't have to go to GitHub and you don't have to go and refresh and confirm. Like once you get into the flow, everything's customized and you get into the flow of actually blogging, like you'll just only have to live in VS Code and oh, I pushed up a post. I know it's right. I know it'll show up. I don't even need to go check,
Exactly. And, and the nice thing too today is that, say someone doesn't want to make a blog post. I mean, we basically just taught someone how to make your own website and post it to GitHub and host it there. So if if you're new and you don't want to host it on your own local machine and have to worry about security, stuff like that,
pay
you're
for cloud infrastructure
on GitHub.
Right.
Exactly.
GitHub does this for free. Like you have a website out here, This is longer than my site takes to send an update. Your theme is just bigger, so GitHub's probably just working harder to package this up, but it'll automatically deploy and refresh out here. So, yep, you've got a blog. Here it is. bresa1.github.io. You're famous. I went the extra step, so I went out. My website is also matthewjdegarmo.github.io, but you'll notice I go to matthewjdegarmo.com. How did I do that? I went out and bought that domain, for like $10 a year or something. And then I tell DNS, when someone types in this github.io, take them to matthewjdegarmo.com. Or when someone types in matthewjdegarmo.com, that maps to the GitHub URL. And so this is the URL that shows up. Really behind the scenes, it's just matthewjdegarmo.github.io. It's the same exact thing we just set up for Brandon. I just wanted to be cool and buy my domain. I'm trying to stall so we can prove that your page refreshed, but it doesn't look like it's. I'm not sure.
There's nothing because we did push it, right? There's nothing else we needed to do. Just to quickly run through what I did do a Control S on the config.yaml, which we did make some changes in here. So I saved that. Obviously, we have our title, everything there. That's saved in here, and then we just went straight back to the projects. We're already in the right directory, and we did the git commit. At least I believe we went back and did, yep, so I did git commit. We changed the description of the site. That was after we did git add. We verified the status, and then we pushed.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe, I'm just following through for all the viewers, I believe we did follow all those steps correctly, like you said.
Right. And so for everyone else, there's Brandon could just drop kick this computer, and his website's still out there. And once it's out there, you can actually do everything you want from GitHub. Like you don't actually have to do it locally if you don't want to. You can come out here and edit these files yourself. And just once it's out, it's kind of hard to get this in GitHub without using Git and stuff locally. But once it's out there, technically he can go and change the config file just from within GitHub. So don't think there's nothing magical about his computer. It's not a server hosting the website. It's all in GitHub and it's free and it's really cool. Like I said, you can make multiple GitHub pages. Your first one has to look like this. And I'm going to look into, I'd like to have more GitHub pages that host other projects I'm working on. I'm not exactly sure how you set that up, but GitHub will host all these websites for you. I just haven't done that myself. But if you're making your first GitHub page, it's your username.github.io, and GitHub reads that as magical, automatically checks this is a website flag, gives you the URL. Super easy. Let me refresh one more time. Yeah, I don't think that's...
I just did that as well. It's still behind.
Yeah.
So is there anything, there wouldn't have been anything else other than that config file that we would have actually needed to address, correct? And that base URL was still good to remove, right? I would assume that's obviously right. Like you definitely have done this way more than me, but I'm just trying to think with this theme, how things are kind of set up, if anything else maybe, broke something with that, not allowing those posts.
So here's a perfect example of why, like I said, you want to make multiple commits, right? So even though we just changed this one file, we changed 4 values. We changed title, we changed slogan, we changed description, we changed the URL. And because we just committed all those changes all at once, we have no idea what broke. If something's broken, we have no clue what it is. So we should have changed title, saved the file, added and committed. And then you have, we change the title in the config file. And then in the same file, you change slogan. You save it, you add it, you commit it, and now you have your second commit. And so if we figure out, something that we did in the description, that's what broke it. We don't have to undo the whole file, fix that thing, and then redo all our work. They're all separate compartmentalized changes. So that's why it's best practice. Even if it's one file like this, we literally ran into the problem that I was saying that we would come up against,
So this is great. And worst case, maybe we just got to go grab the original and go find. That's the only thing I think that maybe could have broke it, because everything else we changed, you would theoretically think would be fine.
But now you have a blog, and you literally have a website for free. It runs 24/7. You're not paying for it. So go ham, change your theme. You have a free website. Really easy. So for all the PowerShell people or just tech you want to learn, I've just overwhelmingly heard in books and podcasts, start a blog just for yourself. No one's going to read it for a while. I've had a blog for almost a year. I bet no one's even seen it, but I've actually gone back and referenced some of the stuff I blogged about because I couldn't remember, and I knew I blogged about it. So if nothing else, start just for you. Document your journey, blog about the things you're learning, and eventually it will pay off. Just starting's the hardest part. So that's why I wanted to share this. As this stream starts to go into more PowerShell things, you can blog about the stuff you learned, while going through here, because now you have your free blog. So it was a good idea. Brandon, I think you were one of the ones that suggested the GitHub page and how do you make your blog and everything. So that's what today is for. We're responding to user feedback.
Absolutely. And again, I appreciate the time for you wanting to bring me on today and go over this. It's been great to get a start, and I look forward to kind of building this out and turning it into a nice blog I can call my own for future use here.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this Tech Doofus account. I made it as a backup for today. If you couldn't join, I was going to just make another one myself, but now it's what could I use a secondary GitHub account for? I don't know. I'll have to think of something creative, but anyway, that's really all we've got. Like I said, you can follow me on all the things. If you have any questions or ideas like this, we literally made a blog because you guys, Brandon, you and I, one other person suggested it last week. So we did it this week. So if you guys want to see anything or you're working on a PowerShell project, we can collaborate on code. I can help with scripts, or you guys can help me with my stuff. We can go over some of the projects I'm working on, but that would be so awesome for you guys to contribute. Send me a message. Like I said, I'm on all the things. And yeah, I think we'll end this here. Brandon, thank you so much for your hour.
Hey, absolutely. Thank you so much again, Matthew. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, for sure. Brandon's trying to stream himself soon as well. So eventually, maybe I'll play video games on his stream or something like that. But for now, we out. I think we'll cut this off here, and yeah, Brandon, have a good rest of your day.
Teaser, if we decide to do it, there might be a potential tech blog channel but hey, we'll leave that as a potential teaser.
Yeah, sure.
For viewers.
now that I've shown you guys how to blog, I'm behind on posts. I've only got 5 out there. Like I said, I've had it for a whole year. So there's a PowerShell specific one I want to blog about, but I can blog about exactly what we went through. Just a more digestible, do these 12 steps and you got your blog. Another one is how I started streaming. What software do I use? How did I configure it? How the heck did I get Brandon's video to show up? It took me a little bit of figuring out to get all this working together. So blog about that stuff. As you guys do cool things, blog about it. You're gonna thank yourself for it, and someday others will, that you made content and other people are going to benefit from it. So this is a great place to start as we jump into our tech journey. So, all right, everybody have a good week. I'm going to cut this off here, and yeah, we out.
Thanks again, Matt.